So, good morning, Professor Chandrabas. Do you think observing nature around you can encourage innovation at young minds?
Yes, I completely believe that most of our learning comes from observing around us what is happening, using the principles you have learned in the school, college, or wherever you have studied. If you use to explain that, and I always say that one thing very important is every child should spend a lot of time in kitchen. Kitchen has the maximum things you can learn. As I had shown in my talk also, that looking at ketchup or looking at how honey, how various things happen, you can actually discover the non-Newtonian fluids and many other things. Similarly, the fire on the stove, various other things, that teaches you many different things. Like you can understand the concept from the fire about temperature. What would be the temperature, various different degrees, what is the best, how materials behave under temperature, gas, liquid, solid, everything is there in the kitchen. So every child should spend a lot of time with his or her mother in the kitchen. And that is the best place for nature. Subsequently, go around, go just explore and try to explain what you see. And immediately you start making connections and you will be able to discover many things.
Do you think that compared to your age or my age, the children of current age, they are spending more of time with their gadgets inside the house and they are not moving around, they are not playing outside. So that is the main lack of innovations in day-to-day
Actually,
life.
there are two things here. One, with all these gadgets, I was pleasantly surprised that all the children were well aware of whatever was being said in the talk. So when I am actually looking at that, I am seeing that these gadgets are helping them in gaining knowledge.
Yeah.
But what is happening is that they do not go outside, and there are two problems with this. One is physical exercise is least, which makes them obese, and various other issues are there. But the second thing is that they don't actually try to explain why things are in a particular way. It can actually change the whole societal implications on the various goals, which sustainable development goals, which the government is having, can be solved by children by going outside itself. So yes, what you pointed out is a very big problem. I think we need to inculcate people to go outside, play, look around, see, observe, try to actually explain what they observe around you.
What do you think of Gaira's collaborative efforts with the schools to get young minds and to think like a scientist?
Actually, this is a very great initiative of Gaira. In fact, they are doing a good job by conducting interactions with the various scientists, people who are actually achieved something in their life, doing research and motivating students. Because many of the students, especially in India, we have seen, they are driven towards either doctor or engineer, where we are producing way too many engineers and way too less doctors.
Yeah.
And we are actually not having the right proportions in all of these things. But what I would like people to realize is that there is no one profession which will be the best profession. Any profession can be the best. I always say a carpenter who can make very good wood structures will never be at loss for job, because he will be in demand for a job and he can earn, he can demand how much he wants for the job, because his job will always be paying him. So there is nothing called a very bad job or not a great job. If you are talented, you follow that talent, you nurture that talent and make yourself expert. An MF of Hussain never studied, but his painting would sell for 2 crores or 3 crores just by just few strokes of his hand. So it doesn't matter. Money is not the reason. You should enjoy what you're doing, create something new, and that's what people should learn.
Do you have any suggestions to Gaira to go forward?
Actually, Gaira can penetrate more. Unfortunately, it is a voluntary service, so you need people to come in, with the same mentality. It cannot be diluted. Their visions cannot be diluted. So you need like-minded people. So you need to scout for people who are actually into this. There are many people who may be interested in, can spend time. You need to actually balance their work-life issues so that they can contribute in smaller or bigger ways into these efforts. They should increase their population of volunteers, then they can penetrate more deeper.
Yeah, one of Gaira's objective is to provide lab facilities for young children. So how can we collaborate to make it possible?
Actually, there are certain different levels of students they are aiming at. Very young students do not have attention retention power. So, if they would like to do it, like RGCB has been doing it with many school students, especially we tell that you have to pre-select the students. Students should be interested in it. Not every student should come. The people who are interested in a particular subject, particular type of this thing, that teachers can tell what is their aptitude.
Yeah.
And those students should be brought. And RGCB like institutions are ready to actually expose them to what is the nuances today and what they learnt in from the lab to what is the current situation in that technology. We can explain to them, making them interested.
So Gaira can facilitate
the by working with institutions, by narrowing down the people to the subject rather than generically bringing people to a particular. It should not become an exhibition.
Yeah.
It should be a focused way of interacting with the teachers. And here the teacher in the class will be the best person to understand the aptitude of the child.
As a patron of IRCC, what would your message for our young, impressionable Gaira minds?
Actually, my message to every young child is that never listen to peers and parents to decide what you want to do. It's a controversial thing, but I would say that they should actually try to pursue and find what it takes to do what they want to do. And they can prove anybody wrong by actually following their passion. Because many people will say that what you are doing may not actually generate anything for you, but by following what they want, they can disprove that what the others said was wrong. And they should take the challenge. Every time I have seen, if you follow what makes you always happy and want to be working in that environment, you will be able to deliver the best and you will always be in demand for work. So there is never going to be a time when you will not be feeling that you are not working at all.
But a country like ours, where children are more dependent on their parents, maybe more than other countries like US and all, whether it is completely practical.
Actually, what I like the Indian system, where the child is still dependent, even at the age of 20, 21, 22, they are still dependent on the parents, is a very good thing. Because in foreign countries, what I've seen is that because they actually get out of the house after 18, they are actually clueless. They have to swim in the turbid waters of life, and they find it very difficult to adjust. And they make many mistakes in their life. But that is actually taken care of. But the bane of that is that these people actually get pressurized by the parents. What we need to do is we have to educate our parents, not the children. Children are smart. They will do what they want. But parents need to come out of this thing that this is the only way they can become better. Parents, which I have followed as an example, is allow the child to do mistakes. Failure is the only way people can learn. If I don't fail, I don't learn. And failing is very important, and one of the places where you can fail and not feel unhappy is sports. So every child should play competitively, but may not be actually an international level, but play. That is the only place where they fail and they want to excel. How to actually overcome that? That they will learn, they will practice everywhere. Today, I am able to take care of all the problems in my life is because of my sports.
Very. So, what initiatives do you think that will bring in non-Gaira schools to the Gaira network? Do you have any idea on that?
So actually to bring non-Gaira schools to Gaira schools is only by giving these materials, whatever is coming out of all these things, to showcase it to the people. What will you gain by being a Gaira member or Gaira school? What will you gain? So this needs to be done. That's why I said the number of volunteers needs to be increased.
Yeah.
They need to actually outreach, and here very clearly you have to select the right people, because the right people, if you don't select, it is just by friendship or something, it doesn't work. It has to be, people are driven by it. So you need to look around in remote parts of places where people will be interested. They will take this, showcase it, this is what people learn from this, and then they start coming towards it. So I think that needs to be done. It is a very slow process, but it is multiplier effect is there, because I always say it's a geometric progression. If I make two people make two people, then it is a geometric progression. So if I can do that way, just one person makes two people do work. That is good enough every time. No need more than that, and it will actually be successful.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for your time.